to share my screen. Okay. Okay. All right, the time is 5 minutes past 1, so we can start. So good afternoon, everyone. I want to welcome you today to the Latex workshop. So kindly change your Zoom name to your full name so that we can have it for a proper attendance recording. Okay. So Tumla, do you have any announcements to make?
Okay, so next week we are going to have we are going to continue this latex workshop, and also I think this was not really part of the announcement per se, but I noticed that one of us has joined, Kayode Kazim, so he posted a survey link on the group, so let us endeavor to fill his survey. And apart from that, the other announcements are ANSHK related announcements as per payment of dues. So that's it for now.
All right, thank you so much for that. So without wasting time, we're going to go ahead and to the business of the day. So once again, welcome everyone. So today's workshop is about latex. So we're going to cover many things on latex, and at the end of the day, you would all be professionals in latex. I promise you that. So we have put together so many materials just for you to get to use the tool very well for your research productivity and to make things much faster for you. So I would encourage everyone to go to this link to see the workshop material. So I'm going to also share with you, and we would see how to navigate. So the link is bit.ly. Okay, so bit.ly so /nshk_latex_workshop. Please, I will encourage everyone to go there. So I'm going to share my screen so that you can see how I am also going there, and to see how you can work with it. So if you open your browser and type the link bit.ly /nshk_latex_workshop, and you go there, so it's going to bring you to the bootcamp folder. So we carefully prepared everything for our ease. So we have the slides for today's events here. So they're going to be two basic slides. So there is the 1A and there is the 1B. So we'll see with time. So the current slide I was using is the 1A, and the detailed file is the 1B. So if you go a step back, you would see some of the resources that you can use during the class. So under class resources. So if you open class resources, you have two folders, part 1 and part 2. So part 1 in all the resources you need for today's class, if at all there's anything. So part 2 is for next week. Part 1, you would see some pictures, some figures there. So with time, we will understand how to use them. So during the workshop, if you're asked to refer to it, so you could just go to your Google folder and do that. So another thing you can also do is download the whole bootcamp folder on your local machine so that you can easily access it. So that's a cheat. So you can also do that to make things faster for you. So I'm going to circle back to the latex bootcamp folder. So I think my network is a little bit slow. So we already talked about the slides and the class resources. So another thing that we want to show us is the tags. So for today, we're going to have some tags at the end of the whole class. So you would see here the tax1.pdf is the required assignment for you, and we already prepared the content. So you just copy and paste and do the other format that you need to do. Then any figure that you need for your tax, we also prepared them here. So it's just to make sure that we don't just teach you, we teach out to you when you use it for your work as researchers. So that is that. For then we'll go back. Then if you need more resource materials to get a hold of latex more, so we have some reference materials. So some are on Beamer, which we'll take next week, and some are like the introduction to latex and the not so short introduction. You can always fall back to it if you have any issues whatsoever. Then lastly is the submission folder. So the submission folder is a folder where you can put your work. So an advice, if you want to submit it, make sure it's you rename it your submission with your name so that we can keep track and then get back to you on it. So without wasting time, so I would go back to the slides. All right, so yeah, so I'll go back to the slides. So at the end of the day, we are going to be able to do something like this. So let me see. Yeah, we're going to be able to do something like this. So usually it's very good to have the end in mind. So we have this beautiful article, and we produce it with latex. So at the end of the day, the goal for today is for everyone in this class to be able to reproduce this with convenience. So this is like the big picture for today's class. So as we're walking through it, you would get more confident to do something like this. And this is going to be the tax one. We'll talk better on it later in the tutorial. So I'm going to introduce the facilitators. So we have 4 facilitators. We have Ikeoluwa Ogedegbe. You can always reach out to him via his Gmail. We have Olutomilayo Petiri. Then we also have Adeleke Maradesa and myself, Kehinde Yetunde. So if you have any questions after today, you can always reach out to us and we'll be glad to be of help to you. So I'm going to present the course structure for today. Okay, so for today, we're going to start with the section 1. We're going to talk about latex and how to understand the interface. Then we're going to have section 2 where we're going to learn how to put tables together, how to list, how to enumerate. So and also we're going to learn how to organize our documents to make it more structured. Then for the section 3, we're going to introduce us to adding figures in latex and using packages and also making table of contents. Many of us, especially people like us that write thesis, at the end of the day, to put table of contents together is so much headache. But with latex, with just one line of code, you generate the table of contents with ease, no issues whatsoever. You generate the list of figures with just one line of code, no issues. And all. So also you can do the list of tables too with just one line of code. Can you just imagine? So the last section for today would be writing mathematical expressions. So we as scientists, we at one time or the other we have to write equations and everything. So Adeleke Maradesa will put us through section 4 and will show us how to reference our articles. So with latex, you can learn to reference with ease. So I know many people who use Word to make their document. They use maybe Mendeley. You try to manage things, and sometimes things are not really organized, and it's so much headache. So we're going to see how we can automate things with latex and make the best of the two. So if we have extra time, we're going to go to the use of templates for faster document production. So we also have some tasks prepared, but we are not going to waste much time. So we're just going to go through to the first section, which is understanding latex. So let me bring this here. Yes, so to start with, why do we even have latex? So latex was created as a result of the inadequacies with the common word processor, like the MS Word and the likes. So the scientists felt like Microsoft never really kept them in mind when they were producing MS Word. It's more like a very general tool for everybody. So LaTeX is specially designed for technical and scientific documentation production. So just imagine, like, a tool is actually prepared for you as a scientist for a document. So you should expect more. So you see that with just simple command of, if you just simple command, you can do so many formatting, and you can undo mathematical formula with ease. So there are different ways you can use LaTeX. So you can either have LaTex on your local machine, but over the years, it's not really that convenient. So Overleaf was designed. So Overleaf is like a tool that you can use to for your LaTeX document. So instead of you handling your LaTeX locally, you can use Overleaf from anywhere you are. And one thing is, it makes things less complicated, and you can less complicated, and you can even share documents and work with all other people real time. No stress. So we're going to see that soon. So now I'm going to start with the LaTeX environment. I'm going to introduce you to the LaTeX environment so that we can see how to do things there. So to start with, we talked about the different ways you can use LaTeX, and we encourage each other to use Overleaf. So if you want to use Overleaf, you can start with, just Google Overleaf. Maybe just go to google.com and Google Overleaf, and you would see the link there. So yeah, this is Overleaf. So it's an online LaTeX editor. So when you get Overleaf, for first-time users, you would have to register. So this is the register button here. And people who already have accounts can just come here and log in here. So register, login, register, login. So so if you click on register, it brings this out. So you can make things much easier for yourself if you have a Google account. So just register with using Google. So you can select a Google account. So I think for me, I might have an account. Okay. So yes. So after I register, I think there's some files here. So it opened them for me. So basically, it's really straightforward. So I encourage every one of us to do that, and then we can continue. Okay, so I believe we've done that. So the first thing that we want to introduce to us is this button here called New Project. So for this new project, if you click on it, you're trying to tell LaTeX that you want to start a new project. So when you click on it, you see more options. You see blank project, you see example project, you see upload project. So I'm going to explain. This blank project is just like a blank page. Nothing on it. This example project is when you have like you want to start with a template, so you can see so many examples, then just start with it. But this upload project is when you have like your LaTeX documents maybe on your local machine, and you want to upload here and continue working on it, so you can upload your project. So much later today, we're going to show us how to upload a project and work with things. So LaTeX also has templates. You can use LaTeX for your CV, and it's going to be so beautiful and they're so compact. So much later today, we would also show ourselves how to do that if we have enough time. You can even use LaTeX to write a thesis. So you will see so many templates here that you just have to keep to the template. For now, we are going to click on the blank project. So if you all click on the blank, it asks you to name the project. So you could just say my first project. My first project. So once you do that, it opens like the LaTeX environment. So I'm going to explain everything here. for us. So I will start from my left. So here is like is the file pane. So you see all the summary of the files you have in your project. So since we start with a blank project, so you can see just one single file, main.txt. So this is like the entry point for our latex documents. So another thing here is you can see this space. This space is where you write your latex code. Then here is where latex renders everything you write here. So everything you write here gets rendered here. If that makes sense, then we also check some things. So I'm going to go up here. Now here is the name of our project. You can change the name of the project anytime by clicking on this pencil. So if you click on this pencil, and I say for today, for example, so it changes the name of the project. So this is review. So it's for people who, you know, after you, maybe you've written your paper, you want to send to your boss for your boss to review. So, and your boss wants to make sure that everything that it does on documents, you can keep track of it easily. So the review button is there. So for this share button, I'm going to show you how to use the share button. So what the share button does is it allows you to collaborate with other people. Now, because I'm using a free account, I only get to share with just one person at a time. So I'm going to share with Tomilayo, and then we are going to work on the same documents at the same time. So if you click on this share button, then you can invite your collaborator with just their email. So Tomilayo, what's your email for Overleaf? Okay, let me just copy that. Thank you. So I'm just going to copy our email, and I'm going to invite her, and we'll wait for her to come in. So after I copy her email, and then I'll give her like a privilege level. So since we want to collaborate on the same documents, so I'll put can edit. Then I'm going to share. Tomla, it says like your email address.
The first letter, I think.
Okay, I get. Let me see. Let me type it by hand. I think I should just. Let me say something. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, it's still invalid. In that case, so that we don't waste much time, why do we setting up our account? Ikeolu, can you give us your latex email? Thank you so much. So yes, wow, why is it saying it's invalid? Okay, I think this is strange. So I'm going to just reload the document and try again. Well, it still says the same thing, that it's invalid.
I think maybe turn on link sharing. Link sharing is off. I don't know.
Okay, so I'm just going to copy this for you, and it should be in the chat, so you can try to Tomla, you can try to use it to join. So let's see if you can join. So I if in the case where you can't invite collaborators from here, you can also use link sharing. So
okay, so I've joined.
Link sharing, yes. So your collaborators can join. So now after Tomilayo has joined, you can see Tomilayo as O here. So Tomilayo, I'm going to type my location. Then you type below me. So can you just type below me and just put your name? Yes. So we can see how two people can work on the same document. So it can really help you make things faster for you. And maybe you're writing a paper and you need someone to collaborate with you to make your paper writing very fast. So LaTeX makes it easier for you. So you don't have to maybe write the whole paper and then share the manuscripts, and it goes through so many processes. So with one thing you can do it. So after I wrote my position here and told me did as, you would see that on your right hand side it is not it has not reflected. So that brings us to this recompile. So every time you make edits, if you are eager to see the edits you've made, you click on the recompile. So it compiles and shows you what you've done. So you can see here that Kehinde is here, Olutomilaya has arrived. So that is what this recompile does. So if I come here and I keep typing, you're welcome, for example. Yes, so I can also click on recompile and it shows. So after saying that, so we need to talk about like basic commands. So in LaTeX, command starts with slash. So the backwards, is it backward or forward slash? So it starts with a slash. So when you click this, when you press slash, then you put a command. When you press slash, you put a command. So for example, you would see here a section slash section. So that means you want to create a section. You want to create this using this section command. So that is that. So we say slash means you want to start a command. Then another thing is, when you create a command, you actually want to define the scope of your command. So you can define scope with like the curly brackets. So this is to define scope. So for example, here we created a section. So and after you created a section, you want to give it a name. So we define the scope that limits the name of the section to this using the curly bracket. So another thing is, in LaTeX, you can comment. Comments are like things you won't see. For example, if I compile this, we're actually going to see this. You can see this like the reason why you're not seeing this slash is because like it is a LaTeX special character, so you will not see it, but then you can see all this. So if you want to if you want to put a comment, you put a comment with the percentage. This is a comment. So if you start a particular sentence with this on a fresh line, LaTeX will not render it. So if I'm going to compile again, we're going to see that LaTeX will not even see this is a comment. So this is invisible. Even like if you compile 100 times, you're not going to see it. And how does this really help you? I'm going to explain. So maybe you're writing a manuscript and you have it in mind that, oh, you come back to this, I'll come back to that. Oh, for this introduction, I'll do this. So easily with this, you can do that. So for example, I can come here and say, come back to introduction. I'll go again. Discuss the importance of X and Y. Add a little so even if I recompile, like you're not going to see anything. So that is actually a very good thing about comments. So it really makes a lot of sense for you to work. So another thing that we're going to show us is the, let me see. Now, is this place? So usually when you're making document, you might want to zoom in. So if you come to the top here, you can see like these 4 buttons. So I'm going to explain what it means. So this is like zoom in. So when you zoom in, you can use your trackpad to go around. So if you come back again, this is zoom out. You can zoom out. So if you click on this, it's going to fit the document. Like it's going to make it fitted. So if you click on this, it's going to fit it, like make it like you can see the whole full page at the same time. So okay, so another thing that we want to discuss is the whole environment. Okay, so yeah, yes, so we can see some things before we add this. So I'm going to delete everything here. I'm going to delete everything here. So we can all see, like when we created a blank latex file, we could see this. So I'm going to explain each and every one of it. So here is how you start a latex file. So technically you start a latex file with begin documents. So we should remember that /begin, when you put slash, you're starting a command. So begin is a command, /begin, and you put documents. So this is the opening tag, and this is the closing tag. So that means everything that goes in between here is a document. But before you do that, you actually want to put things together. So here, the document class is, we're saying, oh, this document is an article. And we use like a package. So we're going to explain how to import packages later. But for now, just let this be as it is. Now, our document would probably have a title. So so you can use the title command to give a name to your project. So /title, my first project. Who is the author? I'm the author. So you can always go back and say, oh, the author is. So if I come here and recompile, you're going to see like, okay, this is the author. So we can use this for your project too. So the dates. So the date is also a command. You can see the dates. Then all these are like preambles to the document. So they're actually optional. You don't have to put it there. So when you do that, now in these documents, like you want to show the title. So that's why we have the make title. Make title. So the make title shows you the name of the document, the author, and the date. So if I comment this out, how do you comment a particular line out? You put the percentage there. So if I put it out, so naturally you would not see anything at all. You can see that it has disappeared. So we only have the section introduction. Much later, we're going to introduce ourselves to the section so that we understand how to create sections. So I'm going to continue walking us through some of the basic commands. So maybe under this introduction, we want to type like different things. So I'm going to generate like maybe just anything. So I'm going to just copy this particular sentence. Then we'll play around with things. So if I copy that sentence and I come and post under this, so let's recompile and see what happens. So I can see it very well. So you can also use this to make things a little bit bigger. Maybe you zoom in a little bit, so we can see everything here. So maybe I need to stress on amorphous solids. So I can come here and say slash. Slash is like you're starting a command. So and say text BF. So BF is like bold. So and when you put the curly bracket, you're saying you're trying to put the scope. So you're limiting the scope to amorphous solid. So let's see what happens. So we can see that this makes this bold. So maybe at the end of the day, we want to make this in italics. Let's see how we can make that happen. So of course, you start a command with slash. So you want to make the text italics IT. Then you come, you do this. Then of course you don't have to recompile always, but but then we want to see the result. So you can see that we just made everything in italics. So another thing is maybe we want to underline this vibrational. I don't know, anything that you might want to use it for anything. So it's intuitive. Just type underline / underline, then put everything in. Like let's just put vibration. Limit the scope to vibrational, so we can see. So once again, let's compare here and here. So we can see that one thing we can learn is, see these documents here. We are not bothering ourselves with the formats, because the format is already there. So we're not bothering ourselves with, it's not well justified and everything. We don't need to bother ourselves about that, because LaTeX takes care of that for us. So with that, we can easily use LaTeX to make documents faster. So I'm going to talk about new space. So what is new space? For example, if you are typing and then you put maybe here, then the origin of, maybe you put too much space here, and then we compile. Let's see what happens. So you can see that LaTeX did not recognize that you have so many space here. So in your documents, you don't have to bother too much about white spaces most times compared to MS Word. If you put too much space in MS Word, it says that maybe you are putting so much space and your document become not organized. So we have that. So another thing is, in LaTeX, if you want to start a new paragraph, there are different ways. So I'm going to copy another text, just a random text from somewhere. Let's say I copy this. So if I copy this and then paste just like under this, so I'll unsure there's something. So we can see that naturally LaTeX creates a new paragraph. Now look at your left. Even if I come here and put so many space, you can see the so many space here, and we'll compile the file. We'll see what happens. Nothing changes. So with LaTeX, you don't have to bother yourself too much about formatting again. So you just need to do your thing. However, if you just need to do your thing. But there are some times whereby you actually want to force like a new line. For example, maybe you feel like you actually want to create a space here. So you can use a command for that. So there are two commands you can use. You can either use /. So let's just see what // does. Okay, I think it's not the same. So let's type new line. Okay, so anyway, make sure that everything is new line. So another thing that you can use this new line in between a sentence. So let me just put this here. So if I put new line here, let's see what happens. Yes, so we have like a particular document, a particular sentence, and it was like a paragraph, and I want to force from here downward to a new line. And all I need to do is just put /new line somewhere here, and it forces it to another line. So there are so many formatting lines that you can use. And that thing is, even though like LaTeX would always make things organized for you, and if you keep putting things together, for example, I'm going to show you how to force LaTeX to continue on another page. So say, for example, I have another paragraph where I have like some sentences. So naturally, it becomes next paragraph, the third paragraph. And even if I put so much space, maybe I want to force it to page 2, and it's not happening. So I'm going to recompile this, and we see it's not happening. So one thing you can do is you can break the page using page break. So if we break the page, let's see what happens. Can we see that we forced the into another page? So easily with so many, we can do so many things with latex and in a very fast way. So we don't have to keep pressing enter till you get to the next page. Just put page break and you keep doing your thing. So another thing that I want to show us is, for example, we want to write and. Let's say, so I'm going to come to the new page here, down here. Let me say Tolu and Tosin, for example. Tolu, let me say, and Tosin, for example. So it's just two random names, right? So we can see this. But what if we want to use the normal ampersand, like the normal and? So if I come here and put this and here that we all know about and we compile, we see what happens. We can't see it. The reason why we can't see it is this and here is a special character in latex. And when this happens, that means you want to actually put your slash there before that particular command. So if you put the slash there, now we can see it, Tolu and Tosin. So this happens for so many other things, which we're going to see before the next session. So another thing is, say for example, you want to put Amaka and Daniel, for example. Amaka went to the market, and then you want to make sure that this market here is in quotation for some reasons. So now if we compile this, yeah, we can see Amaka went to the market. So in cases where you cannot see it, then you have to make sure that you put the slash there. So I'm going to give like a review of everything I've explained, so that we can move to the next session as soon as possible. So I started this session by teaching us how to create an overleaf profile. I showed us that here is where you manage your files. So we have main.txt. So if you want to have like a folder, you can come here, new folder, and create a folder, maybe figures, for example. So you want to keep your figures here, you can have them here. You can also make another folder like that. So if you want to upload, you can come here and click on upload. So before you click on upload, make sure that the particular place you want to upload is selected, then you click on upload. So that is for the left pane. So for here, this is where you actually type your document, and we saw how we're able to grow things, and we explained to each other that everything starts with / begin document to end document. So everything goes in between, and we explained to each other that everything here is just like a preamble that your latex file should have, and we showed to each other that everything that you have here can show here if you by the time we press recompile. Then we were able to show each other how to make things bold. We're able to show each other how to underline. We're able to show each other how to italize things, and we were able to show each other how to force a line break. Then lastly, we did the page break, and we show each other how to use ampersand, which is a special character. So lastly, we were able to show each other how to collaborate. So Tomilayo, can you just can you just continue from here, and so that we don't waste so much time. So thank you so much, everyone. So the next thing we're going to have now is the second section, which is all about create effective document organization, and how to manage lists and tables, and how to effectively reference them. So before I hand over to Tomilayo, do we have any questions or anything that you want me to go back on as quick as possible?
Yes, thank you, sir.
Yes.
Sorry, can I speak?
Yes, please.
All right, please, is there a place where we can find the list of the commands?
Yes, yes. So we're going to share that with us in due time.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. All right. So any other question before I hand over to Tumilayo?
Hello.
Yes, I'm with you.
Yeah, please. I want to ask, how do I start a new paragraph? I didn't get that side.
Yes. So we said that LaTeX is so easy that when you want to start a new paragraph, for example, here, just come down. That's all, and keep typing. This is a new paragraph. So if you come and compile, so we'll see what happens here. Have I answered your question?
Yes, thank you.
Yes. So any other thing?
Yes, thank you. Please, I think I missed where you showed us how to underline words. Then secondly, like in Word, like how can you make a word in italics?
Yes.
Then insert numbers into your text.
Okay, so you said how to underline. So basically, I'm going to show that. So if you want to underline, you start with slash underline. So in fact, like LaTeX makes it easier. So by the time you start with slash underline, you can just see it. It will suggest. So you can just press enter. This. So you make sure that what you want to underline is within the brackets. So if you compile your documents here, you can see this is being underlined. So if you want to maybe things bold, so you can come here and say text BF. See, you can see the LaTeX suggesting for you. This will be bolding. So if you compile, it will make things bold. So another thing is, if you want to put numbers in between, just put numbers 1.
Oh, okay.
So very soon, Tomilai will show us how to make a list and enumerate. So I'm not going to waste much time. So Tomilai, please take over the documents. So you can share us your slides and continue.
Okay. All right. Hello everyone. So far so good. This is what Kenny has been talking about, and because he shared it with me, I have it on my computer. Okay. So we are going to move on to sections. So for example, like you can see we have our file outline. Okay, I think it's better now. So you can see we have our file outline. So when you create a new section, you have it here. So for example, introduction, and for, let's say, the normal templates, maybe you want to write a paper, you have another. So you can just create your sections before you even go on. Another section after introduction is maybe literature review. You can see, if you notice, check the file outline. It is also writing it there. So, okay, literature review, another section, maybe I have my methodology, and section, another section, results, and maybe conclusion. So the beauty of this is, for example, let's say, let me Control X and put my methodology. No, not outside the document. Let me put it here. So currently I'm here in introduction, and I want to check something in my results. I don't have to scroll down, because by the time you create your document, you have a lot of things here. So currently it's just like 2 pages or something, so you can easily scroll. But for example, I'm in introduction and I want to check something in my results. Once I click here, it will take me to where the result is. So that is the section. And so when we have our section, we can have subsection. Maybe under your introduction, you have another something still under your introduction, right? So like when you're writing your thesis, you have chapter 1, 1.1, 1.11, 1.1.1.1 like that. So we have subsection. When you have our subsection, so let me name it sub introduction, sub intro. All right. And under my sub intro, I can have sub intro again. Mini intro. Okay. So yeah. And if you check the file outline, you can see that because this subsection and the subsection, it is under the section, you can see that it has itemized it appropriately. So yes, LaTeX helps us to see our work, and it gives you that feel of completeness. So let me recompile so that everything that yeah, let me recompile. Okay. So automatically it gives it the 1.1, 1.11. And because, yes, section 2, I did not even name it section 2, just section. It automatically knows that it is the number 2. And number 3, because there's a page break here, so the next section, number 3, number 4, all right? So they are actually there. Okay, so, so there's a possibility that you don't want maybe the journal you want to submit to, they don't want you to put numbers. There are some journals, they don't want this number 1, number 2. So for your section, once you put a star, let me just put it in introduction and let us see what will happen. Okay. So it does not number introduction, it starts from literature review. So probably you don't want any numbering for your sections. Okay. And maybe the subsections too. So when you put a star, it removes the numbers. Okay. All right. So it removes the number. So with this star, you can easily put number or remove the numbers for your sections. All right. Now, okay. So yeah, that is for sections. All right. And so for example, if you're writing your thesis and you want to have maybe instead of sections, you want to have slash chapters. At the beginning, Kenny mentioned that when you're writing your thesis, it can actually compile your chapters and everything. So you can have chapter, maybe chapter 1. You don't even have to write chapter 1, just chapter, the title of the chapter. All right. But for this, before you can use chapter, the document class has to be maybe for reports and books. Maybe you're writing a report like the thesis, or you're writing a book. So, but because we are using journal articles, it's not going to recognize chapter. So let us see. Okay, so it does not, you can see, so whenever you see like a star here or this red mark or something, so there's an issue, okay? There's an issue, and then you can see the log output, there's an issue. So because we are working with article, it does not recognize chapters, it recognizes sections and all. So this is just to talk about that. So when you're writing your thesis, you can just change it to book or reports, and then you can use your chapter. So at the end of the day, you can easily compile your table of contents, which will be shown later. Okay, so furthermore, let us have like a paragraph. We can also have paragraph defined. Okay, so you want to put this in a paragraph. Let me put this. And let us recompile. All right. Okay. All right. So yeah, so if you want like a paragraph, or you don't have to put any number in it. If you don't put a number in it, it recompiles and then you have your paragraph. So you can see that I copied this from here. Okay. And you can also have sub-paragraph too. So all these sections, subsections, and all, you can have, if I have this sub-paragraph, right? So if you notice the indentation here for this first paragraph, it is smaller than this. That is because this is a sub-paragraph, trying to say this is a paragraph under another paragraph. So there's a probability that maybe you want your work to look like this. You want to really show that this is under this. So you can use sub-paragraph. So this is a paragraph, this is another paragraph. And based on the indentation, you can really notice that, okay, yeah, they are different, okay? So when you look at this amorous GT, there is no indentation. But if you really want to put indentation, then maybe you can use the paragraph, right? And also paragraph as you wish. Okay. So let us talk about, I'm sorry, please. I put off my fan because of the sound, but I think I want to put on my AC. I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry, very sorry, very sorry. Okay, so let us create a list. Now, if you want to create a list, we have unordered list and ordered list. Ordered list is the one whereby you have 1, 2, 3, and then unordered list is the one that you use bullets. Okay, so if you want to create an unordered list, all right. So let me just create a new section. Lists. And okay. All right. So to have a list, you start with begin, and you want to itemize. Okay, so now you can start listing the items you want. So you can see automatically, I only clicked item, I only wrote itemize. And the beauty of Latex again is automatically it ended it for me. It's ended it. So it's like a section inside another section. If you remember when we were starting, we began our document. So whatever you begin, you should end. And we ended the document. But inside the same document, we are beginning something again. We begin itemize, and then we are ending itemize. So you can have sections inside sections like that, but just make sure that when you open, you close. If I do not close this, there is an issue. So it's giving me an issue already. All right, so you close. So the items you want to list. So for example, okay, I don't know. Nigeria, okay. Nigeria, all right. And I want another item.
Togo.
Google, you said Google?
I mean Togo. Maybe we should list the countries in Africa. And
all right, so yeah, Togo, yeah. So let us just recompile this and see what it gives us. Okay, so you have the lists. All right, automatically. Now, another beauty of this is, for example, imagine that you have like 20 items in your list, and you used number one, you wrote your number one yourself. Okay, so for like this one, it might not really, you might not fill it. So let us use let us go to enumerate. Okay, so instead of itemize, we have enumerate. Enumerate is when you want numbers. Okay, so enumerate is when you have numbers, all right? And yeah, the only difference between list and enumerate is numbers. Yeah. So for itemize, you have bullet points, and if you want numbers, you use enumerate. So let us recompile this again. Okay, so you can see for itemize, we have Nigeria, Google, Togo. And for enumerate, we have Nigeria, Google, Togo, but it has put numbers. So like I said, the beauty of this is, imagine that you have like a list containing like 20 items, for example, and you made a mistake. You want to bring the 28th item to number 1. If you had done your numbering manually, that means when you bring the 28th item to number 1, you have to change all the numbers because it will affect everything. But for this, let me just add something else at the beginning. And instead of Nigeria, maybe we have, let me just say countries or something. And then I recompile. So automatically, Nigeria goes to number 2, countries is number 1. I don't have to change this number manually. So on Microsoft Word, there's a probability that you might have to do that. That you might have to do that manually. But for this, and also if you, the other time Kenny was talking about white space. If you see that Nigeria is not aligned, like there should be like a backspace, but I did not consider that. And it is still giving me the correct, the formatting is still very accurate. So if you want to deal with numbers, yes, you use lists for just bullet points, and then you use enumerate for numbers. Okay. And you can do a lot of things, even like, for example, if I want, even though it is inside this list, I want Nigeria to be bold, I can still use this bold, text bold. Okay, and I want maybe this to be underlined here. I can still just make sure that you use your curly brackets to identify what you want to do, right? So yes, so Nigeria is bold, Google is underlined. So inside an item, you can have another thing, you can have a lot of things. Just, okay, I want Nigeria to be bold and also italicized. I can have this, but then you should have another bracket to close it, or else you have an issue already. So if you open 10 brackets, you make sure you close 10 brackets, right? Yeah. So it's just like following the logic. Where's Nigeria? Why is my Nigeria not italicized?
After, I think I know why. So let me show you. I'm just going to come here. So normally when you after the board, if you open this, so you you get right.
Sure. Yeah, thank you. Okay. So yeah, the bracket should start after this. Okay. All right. Let me delete this. This should be okay. It's all good now. Okay. Okay. So that is for creating the list. And now we want to look at tables. I mean, majority of our work entails using tables. So let us look at tables and yeah. Okay. Okay, so let us have this. Tables. Okay. So for tables, we begin again. Another begin. If you want your table to be in the center, you put your table to be in the center, and then you end. And because we yeah, you end, whatever you put here, you put here. So if I do not put anything here, I don't have to put anything inside the bracket here. Okay, so we begin, and then we begin tabula. All right, so it's giving me like a template already. So we want to go for a simple table, and all right, so so what this means is this table is going to have two columns, C and C. It's going to have two columns, and okay, so all right. So what this means is the table is going to have two columns. You're already telling it that it should prepare. So now we have three columns. So for example, let's say three columns. Now we want to put in our details, what you want to be in the table in the table. So for example, for the first row, we want Niger. The next, for the first column, we are dealing with first row, and then first column Niger. For the next column, you put an ampersand in between. And then maybe you have Nigeria, and then you have ANSHK. Sorry, okay. So with this, if you remember the other time Kenny talked about this double line, it's to go to a new line. So it takes you to a new line. So let me delete this, it was just the template. Okay. And maybe we have Ghana, Togo, Guinea. So what you should make sure of is if you have specified three columns, you should have three columns. You should have three items on each row, all right? And then you end that line, and then you go to another one, and then you can put HK, China, US, all right, okay. So we don't have to put this double line because for now, just three rows and three columns. And let us see what we have. Okay, so this is what we have. Now, this line, this straight line, because we specified it, it actually puts a line in between the columns. So if we remove this line and you just have CCC without those lines, and we recompile, so there's no line in between. So if you want a line, maybe you want your line in the first, you want your line here, for example. So let us try what this will give us. Yeah. So if you want your line to be at the beginning, and just specify like that. So that is for the horizontal line.
The vertical line.
The vertical line, sorry. So let us look at the horizontal line. So if you want an horizontal line, you use this /H line, horizontal line. Okay, so most papers in like engineering, they have like most of like IEEE, they have like two lines at the beginning. Okay, so they have something like this, another H, yeah, they can have something like this. Maybe then you have your title, the title of the column, the title of each column, maybe countries, and then you want your countries to be like bold. Countries, and then don't forget your and another country. Maybe let's italicize this one. Countries again. And countries without anything. All right. Or let's make it bold because it is. Okay. And then you can put another line. So because I'm writing this twice, it will give me 2 lines. And after the last row, you want another line. Okay. So let us check out what this will give us. Yeah. All right. So what is my problem?
So I think it's the double H line. So, okay, after the first H line, you didn't use double backslash. So countries double backslash. So I'm going to show. I'm going to, so I think I'll make the edit here. So let's see what happens. So that's it.
Let us recompile and see. Countries, and countries, each line, Nigeria, blah, 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 where's my it's coming from?
Yeah, I think I already fixed it. So put double slash after the USA to end. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm very sorry for that. Okay. So sorry. So let me go through the explanation again. All right. So we wanted 2 lines. 2 lines. If we are going to follow like maybe the science template or something, I think they always have it like this. Okay. So we specified 3 columns. You want 3 columns. Then you want 2 horizontal lines. It's like step by step. The next one is you want your heading countries, and countries. Then you go to a new line with this. You go to a new line, then you have another 2 lines again. Actually, these 2 lines can actually stay on the same number. Okay, you want another 2 lines, and then okay, the first column and then the first row, the second column and then the first row, and then the next one. You go to a new line with this, then the next one, go to a new line, and then the next one, go to a new line, and then we have just 1 line. Or if you want 2, you can put 2. All right. So that is for tables. Okay. So basically, for tables, you use, so this is a comment, you use the vertical separator line, this. If you want a line, a vertical line, and for the horizontal line, you use slash H line. Okay. So that is for tables. Okay, so okay, yeah. So let us talk about captions, labels, and references. Caption, labels, and references. So I'll just copy a particular table, a particular line of code, and bring it here and see. if we can work with that. So let me first of all recompile, and then we can talk about what it is. All right, so we have this table. All right, and so just like this, actually I should state that if you want it to be in the center this way, you can use this. You can use this. So there are different formatting, and I think the beauty of LaTeX is also the fact that it has a very large community. So if you have any question, just type it on Google. Someone has answered the question. Okay. So for this exclamation mark H, it means put it here. So for example, if you're writing your article, and because LaTeX can move things around a bit. It can move things around a bit to give it the best fit. Maybe it feels like, okay, this is your table. It will not be okay. Yeah, let us move it a bit. So, but if you use this H, it puts it here. If you change it to T, for example, let us see. It takes it to the top of your of the page. So if you change it to T, it takes it to the top of, I mean, it will ignore the fact that we add all these list and enumerate or whatever. It will ignore the fact that we add them there. It will take it to the top of the page. And if you use B, it takes it to the bottom of the page. So because we do not have a lot of things here, so that is why you can still find it below this. So, and then if you put H, it puts it there. I mean, after Nigeria stuff. So, yeah. So for this table, for example, we have we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 columns, and that is why we have it like that. If you notice, we do not have this vertical line here. That is because we do not, if you put it, let me just recompile with this vertical line here, and then it's going to put a line. So wherever you want your line to be, that is where you should put it, okay? All right. And then after that, we have the heading. Now, if you notice, at the first column, this particular point where my mouse is, there is nothing there. So to identify that we want just a space there, we start with this ampersand. So it is trying to recognize that, okay, there's something before it, but I don't want to write anything there. Okay, so because if you do not start with this ampersand, right, let us recompile. So it starts with X, and then there's nothing here. There's nothing, it moves it because it is expecting 5 columns, right? And it starts with the first thing that it sees. But because, yeah, we want that to be empty, so you start with ampersand. Ampersand is trying to say, okay, after ampersand, you put the next thing, all right? So because these are figures, we already have this. So 1, 0.5, and then, yeah, the lines, okay? Now, what I wanted to talk about was the caption. So you put with this caption, you just write the caption, and automatically you don't have to write table 1. LaTeX names it table 1 for you. So you only wrote the caption because you know your caption. LaTeX does not know your caption, and automatically it names it table 1. Another beauty of LaTeX is if you bring a table from the last page and you just remembered that, oh, it has to be at the top, you don't have to rename your table 1, table 2. You don't have to change the numbering because it will change the numbering itself. It will change the numbering itself. So you only have to put your caption, and then LaTeX will name it it will name it, all right? So now let us talk about labels and references. So if you know when writing your article, they will tell you that you should reference, if you put a figure or a table in your article, you have to reference it in the discussion. So maybe you write in figure. Now, if you write in figure 1, and when you were having your final draft, you had to move the table, you will be looking for where figure 1 is, and it's going to cause an issue. So instead of using in figure 1 or something, you use ref. You refer to the table using the label. This is the label we have given this table. And yeah, another thing about latex is once you use this ref, so for example, if you have a lot of labels, maybe you add a table, you put a label, you add another table, you put a label, you add figures, because for figures too, you put a label. Once you click on this ref, it will bring all the labels that you have written, it will bring them out, and then you can just select. So in figure reference the label. In figure reference this. I'm trying to explain the results. So when you recompile in figure 1, it gives you in figure 1 automatically. You can change your label to anything. If you want your label to be, or maybe you remember, okay, equal. Okay, this table is about equilibrium. Just make sure that when you change the, so you recompile. And yeah, it does not matter what your label is, just make sure you refer to it accordingly, and it will still change it to in table 1. So let us say, let me put this same table, I'm going to put this same table. All right, and I'm going to put it, here. Let me give it another label, equal. And recompile. So it has changed it to table 2. And I do not have to, where is it? I do not have to do anything. Just because I made a correction in my manuscript, manuscript, let's say manuscript, and I placed another table at the top, I do not have to do anything. It automatically changes this to table 2. And in my discussion, I don't have to look for in table 2 or in figure 2 or whatever. It changes it automatically. So yeah, so that is what these the captions, the reference, and all this is used for. Okay, so I discovered that this table has no caption, and because it has no caption, it has no table, it does not know table what. So let me give this a caption, for example. And recompile. Why not? Table. Okay. All right. Sorry. I'm sorry, please. Confused. I should Okay. All right. So yeah. Begin table. So the previous time, okay, so let me talk about the previous time we did not begin table. We only began, and then the previous one I had was like begin, and then I just put centering. So I did not state it to be a table. So that was why I did not recognize it as a table. So if you remember, the previous one was like begin, and then I just put centering, center. So it recognized that command, end /n. So every other thing that I did inside, it could recognize all these commands. Please, let me just try something else again. Okay, so yeah, it could understand the command table 3, table 3, table 2 composition. Sorry, so because I have a lot of tables now, I don't know which one I'm working on. Let me just put something in between. So this is table 4. This is table 3. All right, so avoid waste of time. So let me just scratch this. Okay, let me recompile and see what I have so that I know what to say. Table 1, table 2, table 3. All right. So the previous time, I think because I did not put a table, we did not recognize it as a table. So it was not, there was no table number. All right. But now because we started with this is table. So it recognizes it as a table, and it can give it the table number. Okay. And then the caption for this is composition. And where's my table 1? Okay, so another caption for this is also equilibrium. All right. So, and the label, this has a label. This table does not have a label. This particular table, it has no label. So it is difficult for me to refer to this table, this particular table, this one here, this table 2. It has a caption. So it knows it is table 2, okay? It has a caption. If I do not put a caption in it, so it will still recognize it as table 2, but it is expecting my caption. But I do not have a label. So when writing my manuscript or my article, it will be difficult for me to refer to this particular table. So that is why whenever you put a table or a figure, don't forget your caption and don't forget your label, because with the label, you will be able to refer to it, even if you move the table around, or even if you place another one above it, you can easily refer to the label, okay? And this particular reference, we can actually use it for our sections too. I'm sorry, please, in between, I will let us know that for the section.
Tumla, can I just come in?
Yeah, please call me.
Usually, if you want to reference the sections, so down, like after you write the section, you can just come down and put the label and put the name of the section. So you just come down, put /label, and put the name of the section, so you can reference it properly.
Sorry. Okay.
Did you get that? So maybe after the literature review, you can just come back and put /label, and then maybe intro. Or should I add it from my end?
Okay, yeah, this is it. All right, so yeah, /label. All right, /label, and then yeah. Okay, yeah. So yeah.
This literature review, just make it literature review instead. Like this section is literature review.
Yeah, yeah, LR or what? Yeah, LR. In section, then /ref, LR. Okay, yeah. So label, just like the one we used for tables. Sorry, I had to go from there. So yeah, so we can refer to it in section. This we talked about. Okay. All right, so we did not number our sections. So when you number your sections, it will give you section 2 or section 3. If you remember, with the star, you cannot number your sections. So if you number your sections, it will give you the section number. All right. So I think that is that for tables. And yeah, so we'll talk about
the tax. No, I think it's okay. So the tax. So before we go to the tax, can you just remove the asterisk from the introduction and the literature review, then you compile so that people can see?
Okay. Okay, so yeah, section 2, in section 2. So automatically it gives you section 1, section 2. And then because we called on this label, so it knows literature review is section 2, and then it can replace this as 2. Okay, so yeah.
So thank you so much, Tomilayo. And everyone, we can see how fast we're developing the documents. So Tomilayo talked about using itemize, using enumerate, then how to do the table. So they are so straightforward, and you can get to do things very fast. With the tables, you don't have to bother about this one is bigger, this one is smaller. So you just focus on the content and less on the formatting. So quick one, we would give like 15 minutes break for us to practice.
So sorry, let us take questions first, because I think for this section there are a lot of errors, go back, mistakes, blah blah blah. So let me know if there are questions. Yeah, there are a lot of mistakes in this session, so please ask your questions.
Yes, thank you. Should we send a question via chat box?
Hello.
You can ask your question.
All right. I noticed
Hello.
that thank you so much for the training and the teaching. Very grateful. I noticed that the table is underneath the table caption is underneath the table. How do we move it to normal in this in our home feed? The table will be at the top. The table caption rather will be at the top, and the table will be underneath. How do we move this one?
Okay.
Do you want to answer that, Tumla?
Yeah, I'm trying to move it around now. This is, which table is this?
It's actually a very good question.
Yeah, so you just move it to the top. This is it now. Table 1. Can you see it?
How did you move it?
Copy and paste. It was here before. It was below. I brought it to the
caption,
to the top. Can you see this? It was below, and I simply brought it to the top. Before I started itemizing what we have inside the table, I just placed the caption at the top. So now it has replaced my caption to the top. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Right. Okay. Kenny.
Yes. So I shared you the slides, the updated slides for the exercises. Please, can you just
Shared on WhatsApp or?
Yes, I shared it on WhatsApp.
Okay. All right.
So we just give everybody like 10 minutes to attempt it, and we can continue.
Okay, so I'm going to share that screen now. Comment, please.
Or do you want me to do that for my end?
Yeah, I've shared it. I'm about to share it. I was trying to open it first.
Oh, okay, nice.
Okay.
So Tumilaya has been so helpful. She helped us with tax 2 for free. So I would actually want us to do a table ourselves. So we should attempt tax 1 and then tax 2B. So the only difference in tax 2B is there's multi-colon somewhere here, initial guess, and then optimal parameters. But we should start with the tax 1. This is quite straightforward. So we can see some text in bold, and we can see like an itemized. So we should all try that, and we would ask like 2 or 3 participants to share their screen and show us what they've done. Thank you so much. So we have like 10 minutes to do everything. Then we share the solutions.
We don't have to make the figures accurate. Like,
yes,
you don't have to make. You can put anything in the figures.
So attempt tax 1 and tax 2B. You're still sharing your screen.
Oh, sorry, I thought I shared. Sorry. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. So has anyone done tax 1 and they want to show us? So basically you use text bold, then you write some wordings, then you use itemize. That's all. Very straightforward. Anyone? Tax 1? Tax 1. Should we just call a random name to help us with that then? Yeah, because we actually want to make sure everything is hands-on, and then we also get to do things ourselves, so that in case you have issues, you can ask us and then we'll solve it together. So, in like a minute, so can we have anybody just show us their solutions for tax 1? You can share your screen, please.
I think you don't have to type everything. Just show the bold and the list. That's all. You don't have to type.
Okay, so since people are not responding, so you can of course practice the tax 1 and tax 2. So normally, if you had the responses, it would have been more encouraged to be able to put.
Sorry,
Yeah, can you hold on?
my president, please, sorry.
Yes.
But I could not even get the tax 1, so I have to copy all that file from my own documents to try it. So
okay, yeah, it's okay. Please, can you just show would help each other to standardize it? That's all.
okay, can I try to share my screen?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, please. Share.
Oh, okay.
1 minute, please.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
All right, I just copied this. Thank you for the training, President and Sister Tomi. So I just copied this information and I tried to just introduce this underline command and this bold command, and I think I got it here.
Okay.
So I don't know. Let me try let me try this one. Star. Okay. Okay. All right. I tried to remove the 1.0 whatever. So
it's okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
All right. So thank you so much, Mr. Lekon. So anybody want to show us what they've done?
Yes, I want to try.
Yes, please do.
Sorry, I'm sure mine is not as good as his, but my what do you call it? Desktop. The right side of my screen looks very small. The font looks very small. How can I increase it?
So if you go up like towards the right side of the yes. Can you come down a little bit? Yeah, come down a little bit also. Yes. Click on the first button.
Yes.
Yeah.
This?
Yeah, click on it.
I've clicked on it.
Okay, so if it's not working, then click on the magnify. Yeah, yes, it will bring it closer.
Okay.
Or you can move this margin, like
exactly the center margin.
Yeah, the place where you're writing is too big. So
we have the 4 dots, your margin. Okay, you have this dot where you have the arrows, the 2 bidirectional arrows. Look at the margin. Yeah, try to move it around a little bit. That should work.
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. I missed the bold. I forgot how to bold in my header.
So can you just go up in your the left hand side?
Okay.
The code space.
Yes. So you put / text BF text text
No
bf.
star, no star.
No star, no star.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Then the text you want to bold in, you put them in a curly bracket. So you open the curly bracket after the F,
Oh, okay.
then you close it when you are done. Open the curly brackets.
Okay.
Curly bracket, yes. Then you close it when you are done. Where do you want to stop bolding things?
Yeah.
Yes. So we compare and let's see.
My screen.
Oh, okay. Yes. So the second question or the second thing I missed, thank you very much for that. Here my itemized items are all together. Actually, they're supposed to be two different items.
So
you have to put next one. The next item should start with /item.
Item again.
Oh,
So
okay.
you see that it is equivalent to performing. You put /item before it.
Oh, okay.
Yes, you can click on the second one.
Okay.
Yes, so put space to separate it out. Yeah, that's it. So you can recompile. Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. So anybody
Yeah, let me share my screen too.
Okay, yeah, please.
Yeah, can I share my screen from here?
Stop.
Yes, perfect.
Yes, thank you so much for the attempt. We appreciate your participation, Dr. Famaki.
Yeah, thank you.
I think the second task, because we did not talk about multi-columns and all, so it's just the same way assignment is always like other than classwork and test is other than assignment. So because for the task 2B, it has like the multi-column. So I think maybe let's just
we can give it a try.
Okay, you can give it a try. Okay.
So maybe you can share your screen. Let's give it a try.
Oh, okay. We should give it a try. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Okay. So just.
So you can start with /table and then begin table. No, begin table. Yeah, that's all.
Begin table.
And it helps you with everything. Enter, it helps you with everything. So.
Okay. Mine doesn't want to. So.
Okay, it's okay.
So just end. All right. And okay. So we begin tabular. Right. Okay. So we can actually do some type of formatting, further formatting. Because of time, so I'll just copy and paste. Okay. And I'll just explain. Okay. If you okay. When we compile, we will see, because I want to show the task 2B table. If you notice, there's nothing here. There's nothing here, so we should take note of that. All right, and okay, so that is why we have nothing here, and then the first one, the second one. So this is to define the width. The width you want it to be just 2 centimeters. So you can actually do that. You can actually do that too. You can define what you want. Okay, so we have a line. All right, and for the multi-column, so because of time, I'm copying and pasting. All right, so Let me share again just to show it. So you can see that we defined 5 columns, right? But then for this first one, it is taking 2 columns. So that is why we have multi-column. There's something called multi-column. So I think what I'll do is to avoid going back and forth, I'll just copy all everything there. All right. And let us recompile so that we can just look at it here. Okay, so this is it. We defined the width. So we want 2 centimeters. And then this H line is for the first line at the top, right? This and, it's the same thing as when we add this one, because there's nothing in this first column. So it is assuming that there's a space here. The multi-column, how many? 2. So it is saying take 2 of the columns, center, this is for the alignment, center, and then text bold, initial guess, what you want. And then the next one is also a multi-column, 2 columns, and then you put your text there. And then new line, you go to a new line. When you go to a new line, you put this H line, that is to give us this vertical line. And then we have another space. Then we have V underscore O and K underscore O. Then we have the V and then the K. And then new line, you put a line. And then we just have this, just like we had it the previous time. So I think the only difference is the multi-column, this multi-column. So if you want 3, you specify 3. Well, you know that when you specify 3 here, this can no longer be 2. So you specify, yeah, so it's just like that. Multi-column, if you want multi-rows, you can use multi-rows too. All right. So that is for this one. So that is the issue. That is the code, sorry. So yeah, because of time, we might.
All right, thank you so much, Tomilaya. So we trying to meet up with the time. So without taking much of our time, I think Ike should continue with the session 3. Thank you, Tomilaya, once again. So Ike, can you share your screen with us? Tomilaya, you can stop sharing. All right.
Am I audible now?
Yes.
Okay, so I trust it's been so far so good, like my predecessor started. So far we've learned basic tests and some other functionalities. I will not waste our time. I'll move straight to the things I'm supposed to address. So in this my section, I will be talking very briefly about just using packages, which shouldn't take, say, more than 1 or 2 minutes. And after that, I'm going to talk a little bit about images, adding and formatting images, and I'm going to conclude with how to add table of contents, list of figures, and tables, basically. So that shouldn't take a very long time. They're actually very straightforward. I'll just guide us as we move on. So off I go. So it's really important that we take note of, if you notice at the beginning of a document, there are some very interesting commands here. Not exactly commands, but we are going to call them commands anyway. And then they call these are packages. Packages are extra functionalities that you give to, that you enable or activate within your document. So depending on the functionality that you want to perform, so you have to add packages. But the issue, or shall I say the advantage, as it were, with Overleaf is that you do not have to install any package. If you are using your machine locally, if you are using Latex locally rather, that is, you install the Latex software locally, you would have to install packages to actually do all these things. For example, the tables that we're including and figures, the mathematics, the referencing, they actually have their own package, but because Overleaf is like an online engine, so there's a backend that actually supplies that without you having to worry about it. So we don't have to include packages. So all things being equal, I think that's just more like an honorable mention because it doesn't really affect everything you're doing in Overleaf. But just take note, when you're dealing with more advanced concepts, or should I say local stuff, then you really have to take note of the packages. In some cases, your code will not compile, will not run until you've actually included the package. So this is a package command. So, but then I'm not going to elaborate on it, but just take note in the document that we're going to give you, that is the slides on page 23, you're going to see some package examples for graphics, for mathematical equations, and for referencing. But like I said, that is not our concern when dealing with our overleaf. So that is the first issue I'm going to address. So I'm going to move on to images, how to add images. Okay, so let me see. So I'm creating a new section. Let me see, section images. Sorry. Section images, or let's say figures. So you can actually compile using Control Enter for those of us that are more convenient using using keyboard shortcuts. So Control Enter just compiles automatically. So this is my section. So first thing to note is that you cannot use a figure that is not within the document or within the folder that you're working with. So that's going to take us to this little section here. So here we can actually add files, we can actually add folders. So I'm going to do two things. I'm going to highlight them very briefly. So the first is that I'm going to create a folder. As you can see, this icon I'm highlighting here that I'm hovering over, it's the new folder icon, so I can create a folder. So I want to keep my figures here for organization purposes. So that does it. So that is my figures folder. So I can actually add files or figures, as it were, to that directly by right-clicking on it. And then I bring up a new file. Okay. Now I want to upload a file, basically. So it's either I drag and drop or I select from my local device, my HDD. So I'm doing the latter. So downloads, and I'm going to take the damn image. Okay. So there it is. So once I click on the drop down arrow on the side of my folder, it's going to show the content. So there's one content here. I can actually preview it by double clicking on it. So once I double click on it, I can actually see what the image looks like. Okay. So I can go back to the document by clicking on the main.txt. That is the key file. Alternatively, I can actually add a file directly to this pane here. So I'm going to show you the difference between the two anyway, how that actually plays into your overall document structure. So I can come here, the same thing I did for the other one, and then I can include an image from my computer. So let's say ref2, I put it in, and there it is. So to see what it's like, oh, interesting. I don't know if anybody noticed what happened. So I actually placed the file directly in this pane, but I think our software is semi-intelligent. So it's automatically took it into the figures. Can we see that? Can we see that? So that's something to note, actually. I don't want us to have multiple instances. So I'm going to go straight to how to include an image. So remember, we're under the figure section. So what do we do? So since we don't have to include any package, we can just go straight to the command. So I'm just going to start with the basic, include graphics. That is what we do. So include graphics, and that's, I don't need this. This is an extra command. Let's say dam. And it's also important that we put the file extension that we're interested in bringing on board. Do we see that? So this is figures. Figures here is the folder that contains the image we're working with. And once we compile, it automatically brings it in. Oh, interesting.
So I think you need to add the package.
Oh, good. Then I suppose overleaf didn't include my package then. So I just come back here actually. So I use package, and the package that works here is graphic X actually. Graphic X. And then I also do this. So allow me to work with graphics path. Okay, so let me try it again. Where is it?
I guess it's so big.
Yeah, it's so big. I think that's the point. Can we see this? So this is a massive, massive, massive image. So this way you start bringing in your resizing and rotation and whatever image editing you want to do. So the first thing I'm going to do here is to add an image width. And that's actually what the original box is for. That is square bracket rather, not box actually. So that's where I actually had my specific scaling. Let's say that I want half of it, that's 0.5 of the scale. So once I do that, and then 0.5, then text width. So I do this, and then I compile. So do you see that? So that's just like, let's just play a little bit with the values. Let's say you want to make around 0.7 of the original value. Compile, it scales a bit. So it's going to be a little bit bigger than the previous one. So that's just how you play with the size of the image. And you also notice one thing. You can also do something. Now, the way we formatted the image, or sorry, actually table rather, we can actually format figure the same way. So how do I mean? So you create a section, as it were, like a mini section. You begin figure. So you begin figure. So basically this creates an entire sub command, like a command suite that actually addresses everything that you're working with in this figure. So remember, there's also this H. So remember what this does. It puts the figure here, and if it's C, it takes it to the top. If it's B, it takes it to the base. So instead of me retyping, I just do this. I just copy all of this. X. I take this out. So remember, and by the way, when we're working with the label for figures rather, it's common practice that you use fig, F-I-G, and then colon before you put the label. So let's say DM or dam, basically, and then the caption. Let's say this is a dam. Okay, so let's see what this gives us. So we notice the very clear difference in the two appearances we had with comparing the what we have before to what we have here. Remember, this is here, centering takes it to the center of the page, and then 0.7 is the scale, 0.7 of the text width, and then this is the file path as it is in our pane here, and the caption, this is a dam, as you can see here, and finally DM, label figure DM. So like we had for table, we can do the same thing. The let's say figure, is that label now? Ref? Yeah, exactly. So figure ref. So this is, do we see that? Shows an interesting so compile that. I think the image is quite heavy. As you can see, figure 1 by default, it assumes, since that's the first figure we're working with in this document, it takes it in and fits it as appropriate. So that's what we have here. So, so let's all see what other interesting things we can actually do with our figure. So I think we can also rotate our figures. So let me just show that very briefly. That shouldn't take time. Let's do this. So after your text width, so basically this square bracket here contains the orientation and the graphical orientation of your figure, the graphical orientation and graphical properties of a figure. That is the size, orientation, angle, and the like. So here, if I do this, if I specify an angle of, let's say 270, or let's say 90 first. So let's see what that gives us. I believe that's to be expected. So we've rotated the image by 90 degrees. And let's just take it back, assuming there's no rotation. So we just automatically take that out. And then we go back to where we were. So I do not think there's any other interesting thing that we want to check out with figures. But basically, that's the general idea behind figures. First of all, remember the begin figure command, and then you end the figure. That is necessary. You state where you want the figure to be, the top, here, or the bottom. And if you want centering, of course, you have to include this. And next, you include the figure itself. And it's really important. I mentioned something earlier that we do not leave out the file extension. We can actually bring out, let me just take one more example using a PDF image, or let's say ref2. Okay, I'm going to do this again. So let me bring in one more figure. Right. So this time I want to bring in, okay, still the same section. So I want to bring in this second image here. So that is ref2, and it's bringing this by default. So this is another image. And then img2, let's say 0.8. So once we do this, Control Enter. So I believe this didn't fit into this page because LaTeX by default optimizes space, as the previous instructor mentioned. So it's by default optimizes space. So since this, as it is, cannot fit into what's left of this page, it automatically sends it to the next page, actually. So I suppose that takes care of it. Other file extensions that LaTeX can actually take are, I think, .eps, and you can also take PDF images. I think PDF images are quite clear. I think the clearest image you can get are either EPS messages or PDF messages. So whatever image you're bringing in here, the quality you want determined should be determined by the file extension. So I think that's all there is to know about figures for now. This should take care of everything you should know at the basic level when you're dealing with LaTeX. So I'm going to go into the final part of my presentation, and that is the inclusion of table of contents, list of figures, and list of tables. So what you do, or how you do this, is just to go to wherever part of the document that you want to include the what's it called now, the table of contents, list of this and list of that. So let's say after the title, so let's just say we have this. So all I have to do is just to put table of contents, and there it is, table of contents. My spelling is correct. Okay, Control Enter. So let's go. So here we have it. Just like that, actually, just like that, you have what you need. So, and if it's the list of figures that we want to include, so let's say list of figures, list of figures, enter. And here you have it. Okay, we see that by default, it is using the caption. By default, it is using the caption. So that's what you should also take note of. So whatever caption we include in the figure is what's going to be used as the placeholder in the list of figures. And lastly, I'm going to include the list of tables. I'm actually using the double slash because of space. List of tables. And that should sort it out. Just a single command. So you see here, this table does not have a caption. And that's the reason that you have an empty space over there. So that can be rectified very easily. Just go to the command, include a caption, and that automatically takes care of that. So when you want to move around your Latex document, one last thing, you could just say, for example, I want to go to my literal review, and I don't want to scroll a little too much. I just double click on this, automatically takes me here. Okay, and then let's say there's a section introduction I want to go to in the document, just highlight, and then just click on this arrow. It takes you to where it should be in the document. And that will be all for my section. Any question, anyone? That'll be all. Does anybody have a question?
Thank you, sir.
Yes, you're welcome, sir.
Sir, I have the one question of clarification.
Okay, please.
The former instructor used the exclamation mark H to indicate put here. Yeah, this is now in your own you use ordinary H. What's the difference between the two?
I think the good thing about this is that we can actually experiment. So let's experiment. So let's see where it is right now. Let me see. So this is a figure. So this is this figure, right? Okay, let's start with the first. Okay, let's start with the second one. So this is where it is without an exclamation mark. So let's just include an exclamation mark now. And run the code.
So I would actually explain what an exclamation mark means. So if you use H, so you're still telling you, okay, put the figure here. But there are some times whereby you have you might not see the effects in this document because the document is quite short. So there are some documents that they have so much content. So sometimes when you put H there, it won't put it there because of the way Latex is trying to structure it. Now, when you put H there, you're putting like a force to it, like you must put it here, something like that.
Putting the exclamation, right?
Yeah.
You mean exclamation.
That means you're saying you must put here, something like that. So you're putting like a priority to it, like it can mention. So that's the difference.
I think basically that.
So without taking much time, so can you introduce us to the tasks under your session? So
okay, so I have a few tasks here. Let me stop sharing and share again. Okay. So these are some images that you can play with. Well, this might be a little interesting anyway. I'm talking about this double column image here. Okay, so perhaps we just focus on bringing them in one after the other because we didn't get the time to actually bring in this last two. So
it's intentional. Of course, the task should be more than the explanation. A little bit difficult.
Okay, well, let me not try to get in the way of the principle. Anyway, so these are some images. I believe they are available in the resources from the link that we clicked on at the beginning of this class. So the resource folder, you're going to find this image, download them. You bring them in or you import them into the Latex document you have on your computer or the overlay document I have in computer, and just look at how you can bring this in. But this, well, let me not tell you anything. There's always a way around it, right? So let's just play with this first, at least. Let's see how this goes. Basic, the same format, copy and paste, edit the file path and the file extension if need be, and see what it gives you. So we have, I think, maybe 5-10 minutes. 5 minutes,
yes,
I think.
Yeah, I think 7 minutes.
7 minutes because of time. Yes. Okay. Okay, please, you have the floor. Please go on.
And I really hope we're getting hold of this workshop. We can always ask questions if we don't understand anything. So the first thing is for us to download the figures from the chat folder. Then we try to do things. So just try. We actually appreciate attempts. I think that's all that matters.
And you can use Google.
Yeah, exactly. Especially for tax 4.
Really?
Yeah.
All out. I think that's what I was going to say. You can always Stack Overflow, Latex Overflow it, and you get a good responses. So what's the progress? And by the way, I mentioned something earlier about the images. Let me see. Sorry, just a minute. So I said something earlier about figures, like denoting figure highlight or labels by FIG. Now that's like best practice. It is not compulsory. It is more of like a best practice kind of thing, just to make sure that you're following normal convention. But if I do not put this FIG here, right, and I just put IMG2, it will still work the same. It's going to work fine. So that's like a best practice thing. So does anybody have any questions so far, or any, I mean, let's see what you're doing, if you don't mind. Do you need help with anything? We're here to help. Anything so far?
So I would like to see like what you are doing.
So in case anybody wants to share, so I've left the floor open.
I'm having serious problem with the figure.
Yeah,
Please
it's
share
okay.
your screen.
Please share your screen. So that's how we can figure it out.
All right, okay. Let Share screen. All right. I remember you did something around this place, use package, but I can't
Yes.
remember. So I think that's the reason why I have.
Let me
this
just copy
problem.
and paste it in the what's it called, in the chat box, so you can play with it.
All right.
So it's very necessary that you actually include that.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. While he's doing that, so one very good practice is that you should be able to troubleshoot and be able to identify issues. So
Okay.
now I'm looking at the document. I'm going to try to figure out why you have issues. So the first thing that I want to point out is, first of all, your begin figure has E and the end. So can you the begin figure, like it has E.
Okay. E.
Yeah, let me begin, like begin slash
Okay.
begin.
Okay. Yes.
Please, can you correct that?
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so yeah, I think it's fine. So the next thing is for you to add the packages up there. So Ike has been kind enough to give us the packages in the chat box. So can you just copy it out and paste it at the upper part?
Actually, I included the packages for should you decide to try your hands on the more interesting exercise. I also included the packages for that. So, fig and all that.
What's happening now?
Okay, somebody saying anything?
Okay, let me try again. Paste. All right.
Yeah, this should work actually.
So, do you mean, okay, I just recompile again?
Yes.
There it is.
Yes, there it is.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Welcome, sir.
So another thing is yes, I need to point this out, is your figure is outside the figure section. So can you copy the centering and include graphics in between begin and end figure? Yeah, everything, these two lines.
Okay. Actually,
yes.
I think you left out what's called a curly bracket.
Yeah, just put the curly bracket back
and take out this one.
Delete this. So can you recompile?
Okay, sir.
So now it's much better. I don't know why it's giving issues.
I think you can actually resize it, I think. And then I think you should also justify, maybe like what's it called now? Tab the commands within the body of the code, perhaps, and then include the size so you can probably tidy it up a little, feed it a little bit.
Okay, I will try.
So
thank you. Let me allow other people to share and
okay, all right.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right. Before we go to the fourth section, we are running out of time and we want to finish as soon as possible.
So this is like the answer to the one I just finished sharing. So look at this. So this section here is actually what gave me this, but I won't go into details, but this is the code that you need. But note, I actually had to include some other packages. So, but I think as we get into more advanced matters, we're going to talk about how to really figure out what kind of package you use, how to source the code and all that stuff. So that's going to help. I didn't know this actually. I had to look for it somehow, and there it is.
All right. So anybody wants to show us their solutions before we proceed? Yeah, please. Usually, you showing us what you've done is more of an encouragement for us to know that you are following.
Sorry, President. I noticed that the figures, the task in the link sent to the link I have is different from the one you are sharing here. So I don't know what the problem is.
So yes, thank you for that. So let me check and let me see. Let me try to see what you're saying. So in the Google folder, we have, let me see. So we have different folders. So yeah, if you go to tax, Okay, the task here is for the assignment for the day. So the reference file, you will find it in class resources. Thank you so much for bringing that up. So class resources, then go to part 1. You'll find the figures there, everything. So some are PNG, some are PDF. So, but it doesn't matter. Just do your thing. Have I answered your question?
Yes, I will go through it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm very sorry. I think my what they call it, I lost my file while trying to upload the documents. So my screen, let me show you how my screen looks at the moment. I don't know how to get back to where I was.
Okay.
I don't know if you can see, like I think I lost everything I was trying to do while trying to upload my files, my documents. So
That's okay. So can you click on figures for tax 1 to 20? Okay, so there's nothing there. Then click on the first folder, the latex files. So can you open it? You can see like a small arrow, like yeah, open. Okay, so there's nothing there. So strange.
because I downloaded, it's not in a zip file.
Yes.
So I tried to upload it. But the entire zip file just uploaded.
Oh, okay. I think it's a mistake. So can you just circle back? Just go to overleaf.com and let's see. Just your link, overleaf.com, and let's see. Okay, so open your my projects again and let's see what happened.
I'm so sorry for the setback.
No, it's okay. So one thing you can do is just create a new text file and start again.
Okay.
So you can come to the first button up here. Yes, click.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, just put main.text. Yes, you just create it. So open the main.text and
okay, just start again.
Yes. So hold on. So I'm just going to copy some stuff, some initial stuff for you so you can see. So I'm going to please hold on. Yeah, can you check the chat box? So I just pasted the basic. So for me, you can flesh out and do your thing. So anyone else wants to show us what they've done?
Yeah, I have a question as well.
Yes, please.
Okay, let me share my screen.
All right.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
I'm trying to move the figure up, like.
No, you can't. No, you can't move the figure up. So
if you shrink it though, if you reduce the size of the figure, it could probably fit that.
So if to move it up, that means the figure can sufficiently fit in. So this is what you do. Okay. After the include graphics.
Yes.
Yes. So come down, include graphics. Then yeah. I mean include graphics like after before the curly brackets.
Okay.
Before the curly brackets, yes,
Okay.
open a square bracket. Open
Okay.
and close the square bracket, yeah.
Okay.
So in the square bracket, put width equal to maybe 0.5.
Okay.
0.5, then slash. No, the other slide, yeah, text width.
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry.
So can you recompile?
Okay. Okay.
So what happened there is Latex felt that, oh, the initial figure cannot sufficiently fit in between the space that you have. So Latex moved it to the other line. So one thing I do is after reducing it, then I keep increasing the size a little bit and till I get what I want. So what do I mean? So keep playing with the 0.5, put 0.7.
Okay.
So you compare and let's see if it works. If it's still going to be there. No, it's
No.
not. It's not more there. So yeah, put 0.5 and let's leave it like that.
Okay.
I think the image has a lot of white space, like
yes.
And it's from the image itself. So Latex cannot do that because it is from the image itself. So before you bring in an image to Latex, you should maybe crop and remove all those extra stuff.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Tomilai. So without wasting much of our time, I think Marat should have the floor. Marat, please, can you introduce us to your section?
Hello, everyone. Can
Hi.
you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so this session entails it's building on what they've been talking about. So just to complete the article, so it entails how to write mathematical expression in overleaf and how to compile and run a bibliography. So the first thing is to generate bibliography. You need to get BibTeX ready. So how do we get BibTeX ready is to search for it on Google Scholar. So it means you must have compiled the list of the articles that you want to cite in your paper. So by doing that, you just need to copy and paste in the Google Scholar and you generate a BibTeX. So from the BibTeX, you copy and paste in the ref folder. The first thing I will do now is how to create a ref folder. So you come here, can you see my cursor?
Yes.
So you come here, you click here. So you change text to BIB. So indicating that you want BibTeX instead. Then let's label this ref as our reference. That's the first one. So we create, so the folder is ready now. Then let's just think about any hypothetical paper. Then we go, let me close this first and go to Google Scholar so that you know how to search Google Scholar for BibTeX. So this Google Scholar, for instance, I just search Gaussian process. Gaussian process. So this one is let me take this one.
You can change language to English so that we can follow easily.
To English?
Like from the Google Scholar so that they can see how to
Okay, it's good now. So this Google Scholar, just get a list, the comprehensive list of the article you want to cite in your paper, get them ready, copy them one by one, paste in Google Scholar, search for them like this. No. Okay, you click here. See this symbol.
Please
this
change
symbol,
to English again.
Okay, site. You see site? Site. You click on site. Can you see? Okay,
Yes.
click on site. Then you pick BIP test. Can we see BIP test?
Yes.
You pick BIP test. So you click on BIP test. So this is your Latex code for reference. Just copy. Then you paste in the folder earlier created. You go to the folder that we created together. Then you paste in the folder. So let me do that first. So I will show you that later.
So you can share your screen.
No, I'll share it.
Okay.
For the second time, so let's see, look for another paper, maybe on biology, for instance, design or something, anything. So let me change to English. So click on site, click BIP test, copy your code, copy this code. Then you now paste here. I'll show you where you paste it now.
Yeah. We can't see where you pasted it. So
no, I will show you.
Okay.
So you paste here. So we created this folder together, remember? So you paste here. So this is the first one, the one at the top. This was the first one I copied. I paste here. So then this is the second one. So assuming we are citing only 2 papers for the sake of this tutorial. So assuming you are citing 2 papers. So then the main, you can always come to the main. Let me compile first. Okay, still working. So you have, assuming you want to generate, you want to publish in bibliography style, you put the style of your bibliography style.
I think we should just use this suggestions for the bibliography. Like the spelling is not correct.
It's not correct, right?
Yes. So you can just circle back and use the suggestions from overleaf.
Okay.
So yes, you can see down there.
This one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So assuming you want to publish in Esifia, then we want to use IPRF. Use package IPRF. Is IPRF there? Okay, IPRF is there. So this is for referencing, and because you cite first before you generate your bibliography. So after this, we can just come anywhere and cite. Maybe let me say Federational blah blah site. So see site. You want to cite the first paper, You come here, you copy this name, just copy some they prefer to change all this one to 1, 2, 3. You can just change it to 1, 2, 3. But it would be very difficult for you to track that whose article is this or whatever. So somebody will prefer to change this one to 1, this one to 2. So, and your cite 1, 2. But if you do that, so it will be very difficult to track who is the author of this or whatever. So I copy that one, I paste here. I paste in the site I earlier created here. So I come down to the rear hand before end document. You must do everything before end document. So I type bibliography, then what's the name? Ref. I put ref, then I compile. So if you go down, I think the bibliography should be there now, isn't it? It's not there, right?
You can see it. It's there.
Why is he here?
No, it's because of the
image.
So is it possible to use like maybe page break before the bibliography?
Okay, new page. Yes.
Yeah.
New page. Thank you. New page. Let me compile.
So it's going to be down.
It should be there now, right?
Yeah, just go down.
No, still there.
You can see.
Page break, right?
Page break.
No, it's there, but it's
okay. So I'm going to just do something now. Like,
yeah, it's there. It's there.
Page break, right?
No, please hold on. Please hold on. Let me just do something. Right. So. Yeah, you can check. Is it okay now? You can check. Is it okay now?
Yeah, I'm compiling.
Okay.
I think it should be okay. Okay, it's okay. So this for a single citation. So assuming you want to cite, you have multiple citation. Come here again. Copy the second one. I don't know which one we copied first. Copy this one. Come here. Go to site. Our first site. Okay, here. Just put comma and paste. Okay, Lambda, this and okay, so you can compile. So you see the second one. So if you still want to cite anywhere in the article, just put cite. Then you do anything you want to do.
You can even see the suggestions.
Yeah.
So you see the suggestion, yes. So that's all about how to generate bibliography. Is it clear? So
can you show us in the documents where the citations work?
The citation?
Your right hand side. Can you show us where the citations are?
See this? Ooh. See this? Can you see my cursor?
Yeah.
1,2 colored green. 1,2 color green. Then one is this Jiffy Louder and e-school or something. So if you have thousands of them, you just follow the same procedure. First, you must have generated all your big tests, get them ready, go to Google Scholar, paste them, click on site, copy the latest code for bibliography, paste in your ref folder, in which I showed how to create the ref folder. So after pasting, go back to your main article. So look for where it's appropriate for you to cite, put slash and cite, copy and paste the name, then you compile. That's how it's simple. Then how to type equation according to the tutorial. Okay, so yeah, assuming you want to, okay, let me just go through the basic of how to type equation in LaTeX. So first, you start, if you are typing equation in text equation, you use dollar sign. What I mean by saying, see where I put my cursor. Maybe you want to put one, okay, maybe you want to put impossible to achieve for the thermal property of the system. After the system, you have one equation you want to put here. So you use this, then you put slash. After this slash, then you must have known the mathematical Latin and Greek letter you want to type. Maybe you want to type gamma, for instance. So that's for the in-test. Then maybe gamma square. If this gamma, let me first run gamma so as to see.
That's the day.
Where is
This
it?
page, this page. Another one, the second, this, no, go back. Yeah, this page. You've over scrolled.
Over scroll down, right?
Page two.
Page 2.
Yeah, another
Okay,
one.
okay, this is it. This is it. Let me bold it so you can just use bold symbol. If you are into linear algebra, you know to bold some to indicate its matrix or vector. So let me bold it. So it has been bolded.
You need to put slash in front of gamma again.
Then you compile.
You still need to put slash in front of gamma to show that it's gamma.
Yeah. So another slash here. So this has been bolded now. So that's how to write in text. Then if you want to continue like that, maybe gamma is equals to, if you want to write raised to power, you just say x square. See how I wrote x square, or gamma equals to a square, or gamma equals to beta square. So you use this raised to power like in normal mathematics to do your square. Then you use underscore as for subscript. Maybe high.
Is it possible for you to zoom in so that you can see clearly what you've done on page 2? Zoom in. If you go up just below we compile, you will see the buttons. Just below we compile. Just below we compile.
Below what?
You just come down. You bring your cursor down below we compile.
Below the cover?
Like the recompile button.
Okay,
recompile.
compile here.
Yes.
Okay,
You just bring it down. No, don't click on it. Yes. You can see. Just come down. Bring your cursor down. Yeah.
Okay,
Click on
this one.
zoom. The third button. You zoom in very well clearly. Okay, then you can go to the second page so that we can see what you are doing clearly.
Where is it? Okay. So you use this sign to generate this square, beta square, then this underscore to generate any subscript, So that's how you'll be building. Then maybe plus, if you want to generate A divided by B, you just use frac. So the good thing about this thing, the overleaf is it gives suggestion compared to the classical
If you
test.
want to use another row, I mean.
No, I'll use another row. I'm just generating on test
inline equations.
Inline equations.
Then later I'll go to normal how to generate proper equation. I don't know if you are getting my point.
Okay.
So maybe you want to do this now for fraction. This how to you use frac A divided by B. This slash frac, this first open and close bracket is where the one at the numerator will be. Then the second one is the denominator. So if let me compile. So can you see? But if you want to generate proper equation, I mean the normal equation in the body of your work, so this will give you begin equation. You have your begin equation and end equation. So begin, what do you want to begin? Equation. So this is the equation. See the body. So overleaf will give you the template. Begin equation. Immediately I click equation. So the template has been given. Then what equation do you want to type? So then you can now type your equation like E equals MC. Okay, let me write in capital letter. MC square. E equals MC square. Let me compile. So after this, you can now put label. So C E equals to MC square. Then what's the name of this equation? You can put label for it. What the label? Label. Which equation do you want to give it? Equation, maybe Einstein. So that's the name of the equation. So then this particular equation, you can cite anywhere. You can cite equation anywhere. Let me compile first. Okay, still working.
Is it possible you zoom out so that they can see that the equation is being numbered? So you can go under that recompile. Under recompile and then So just come down. Don't click on anything. Yes. Just come down. Yes. Click on the first one. Yes. So you can see that the equation is being numbered, equation 1.
So it's automatic number generation. So you might want to cite one now. You want to cite one anyway. So you come here, for instance, you want to refer to equation 1, maybe as shown in 1. As shown in equation 1. You just type equation ref.
I think you need to add
the package, right?
A package, but you just use ref. It will capture it. Just use ref.
Okay, equation ref is because it works in normal Latex.
The first one, Einstein.
So just copy this name, then you paste here. You paste here. Then you compile. So see this now. Okay. So as shown in equation 1, you can see equation 1 now. Anytime you click on this, it will take you to the equation where the equation is. So that's how to do the normal equation. So you might want to do sub equation. Maybe you have equation 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D, for instance. So you still begin sub equation. Instead of begin equation, you begin sub. sub-equation. It's not suggesting.
Yeah, you might. I think you might have to use a package.
Ooh.
Yeah, but you know, we should not worry about it. So I think we should introduce them to the tax and assignments.
Okay.
So we can always continue in the next class.
Okay. So is it clear?
Yes, yes.
So you can, maybe you want to write sum, you can come here, plus sum. Okay, always remember to put your slash. Sum I 1 to maybe n, capital N. So what do you want to do? Anything, maybe Fi, something like this. So you want to write products, you can write anything you want to write. So that's it. Plus, again, what again? Product, you know, this very big product. Product I 1 to n. That's it. You might want to write integral again. Int minus infinity to infinity.
The slash, that you need to put slash in front of the infinity.
Okay. Always remember to put your slash. So product what? Maybe xi here. Xi. I don't know if you are seeing what I'm doing. The integral of gamma, maybe plus tau. Epsilon.
So you need to put a slash in front of the tau since you're calling a command.
Okay. See, if you don't put slash, it will just give you your letter back. The way you type the letter, you give you back.
Wow.
What again?
I think it's okay, Marat. So we can always shed more light on equations in the next class.
Okay.
So
to do now, to do is to leverage on the table that have been presented, you've been taught how to generate table to reproduce this.
So so I'll just take over from here. If that's okay. All right.
Yeah, yes. Let me on share then.
Okay. So thank you so much, Marat, for taking us through the
You're welcome.
Yeah, for taking us through that. So the next thing that we want to do now is I think we are done for today. So I want to do a quick recap and then tell us what to do as an assignment. So I think I'm just share my screen. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen, and I don't know why my yes, can we see my screen?
Yeah.
All right. So once again, thank you so much for the attention. We introduced ourselves to the use of latex, and I believe now that many of us will be able to put something like this together. So this will be the assignment. So I'm going to show us where you can get the assignment from. So also on our own part, please, all these tasks, let's do them before next week. The tax 1, 2, 3, 4, and the tax 5. So in this tax 5, it encompasses the table and the equation. So let's just attempt it. So for the big assignments, so you can go to, I'm going to just share my screen. For the big assignment, we can go to our link. So if you go to the link here, so you go to the tax. So when you go to the tax, you would see the assignment. So this is the assignment. So what we want you to do is to reproduce this it's, I think it's an assignment for me. Yeah. So what you want you to do is to reproduce everything here. So it looks like so much work, but then yes, we want you to put your hands in the mud and get dirty with it. So that is the only way you can actually learn to use LaTeX very well. So this document has everything that we've talked about today: equations, the sections, and everything. So you don't have to have maybe B or A like that. So just use your of course, you know that this is a section, you know this is a subsection. So don't worry about maybe this is 2. So we're going to talk about that in next class, because we use the template for this, and because of the templates, the formatting is quite different. But it's okay, just put this together. So you're going to make everything here, so you can identify that this is like enumerate, because you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. This is an equation, something like what Mara just showed us, and these are just like figures. So for everything that you need, so we made, and of course, like we have some references, so please put them there. So, and for everything that you need, for example, for the contents, like the content you see there, we don't want you to start typing from the beginning. So we already have like everything here. So all you need to do is just to copy the content and copy and paste and just put things together. That's all. So, and then just make sure that everything is well positioned. Then for all the figures for the tax, you'll find them here. So just include the graphics and just try. We just want to see you try and do something. So if do we all understand that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so we are 3 minutes above the promised time, so we don't want to keep us any longer. So if there is no questions, so should we call it a day, then we'll meet next weekend. All right, Tumila, do you have anything to say?
Not really, no.
All right, so
Okay. I will just say, please Google everything. Google, just type the thing is, whatever question you have, just put it in Google, you will get answer. So yeah.
All right, so thank you so much, everyone. So next class, we're going to teach you, we're going to do like a revision of everything we've done today. Then we're going to show us how to use LaTeX for your slides. The slides are usually more beautiful than PowerPoint would ever give you. So we hope to see you next week, and have a good weekend.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, bye.
Dr. Famaki.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Oga.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Hey, go for that. Hello. Okay, yeah, enjoy your weekend.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. I got some and everybody.
Okay, I just.
All right.
Professor Marad with his big equations. Statistician. Wow.
Oga Dapo.
Astole talking.
Ẹ ṣé o, gbogbo yín o.
All right now. Thank you.
Mr. Ike.
Yes,
Tommy,
President
Mrs. Gugu.
Tommy. Maradisa.
Gugu is your friend.
Google is your friend, though. I mean, one does not know everything. All those latex, they need come for writing a symbol. Just write it in Google to give you. Yeah.
All right. Thanks for the points. Yeah.
Bye, so Mama was on join.
Yeah.
Is Miracle there?
He's not in the lobby actually.
About the salon.
It's probably at the hostel.
Okay, can we go now?
It's a pleasure. So I think we're gonna have another meeting later to talk about the details of a second session next week Saturday.
Yeah, sure. I think we can do that on Monday.
Sure.
And on Monday.
Okay, that is fine.
All right. Have a nice weekend, guys.
Bye-bye.
I'm closing the meeting now.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Joe.
Yeah, cool. Good night, everybody.
Good night, okay.
Yeah.
4 p.m.
Àwọn tí mi rí ni owó
Ọlọ́run.
dárọ̀ náà, Yorùbá máa ní mí.